Hello, beloved listeners, and welcome to Snake People at the Movies, film criticism by people who actually like film. Join us as we dive into movies we love, movies we respect, and movies we wish we could unsee. It's the podcast where we talk about growing up and living queer, nerdy, and depressed online and at the cinema. From the kids who are living in your AirPods, it's Sneople at the Movies. I'm Ezra.
I'm Helena.
And I'm Matty. Welcome back. Welcome back to the show. We had some scheduling issues, which is why we had to take an unexpectedly long break. But we are back and better than ever.
I gotta move in like 14 days. Fuck my life.
I got COVID.
Well, it was like you got COVID. I had a cat situations.
I don't remember what I was having something happen. I don't remember what it was.
Life, man. I think the last episode that we did served well as that's the episode that you get for the entire month of June. We just didn't say that. We totally planned it though, so you should be really proud of us
definitely.
We're playing hard to get.
That's right.
This podcast.
Not only did we plan it, we communicated that in an effective manner. Everybody knew that's what we were going to do.
Yeah, they assumed that.
Yeah, obviously. Anyway, it's over. Hiatus is over. We're back to the regular schedule.
The three of us just have such gay haircuts. Sorry, I had a very long day today.
Useless for the audio listener. Yes, true.
Just imagine three of the gayest haircuts you can, and
exactly.
You got it.
We have three flavors of gay haircut on this podcast.
Yeah, we have three different gay haircuts, which is the crazy part.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah, we record this podcast with video on now, which means that we can see each other's gay haircuts.
Three different flavors of Barricade Boys. Oh, I'm gonna get caught with that
I don't think I have Barricade Boy hair. I will say that. I don't think the undercut is. You two do.
Ezra
absolutely.
Definitely does. I do. Matty, it depends on the production, really.
Right now.
That's fair.
But yeah,
Maybe
my hair has gone past attractively windswept and into just straight up sticks out on the sides if I'm not careful. So
you got a fun little swoop right now though.
This is fine. The problem is when I sleep on it and it's wet and then it sticks out right above my ears, like the world's saddest Pippi Longstocking shit.
Why do you think I shaved the sides?
Yeah, I need to go back and have someone shave the right above my ears. Every time I go in, my hairstylist is like, you want me to shave your sideburns off? And I'm like, please, for the love of God, shave my sideburns off. They grow in figure eights.
Please help me. Yeah, that's why I do it at home now, because I cannot wait for somebody else to take care of this.
I'm not orthodox. I'm not growing payas. No. They grow in corkscrews and it's bad. Anyway,
enough about haircuts.
Anyway.
Podcasting. So we're not going to do what we sneep. We're going to kind of do, next episode, we'll do a big, long one to cover kind of June and July.
Yeah. The highs and lows of the Sneople summer. Because, we were all looking at our lists going okay, each one of these lists is a whole ass episode. Wow.
Yeah. But my birthday also passed, which means it's my birthday episode, which means I made everybody watch Jaws and Dog Day Afternoon, which came out in the same year. And that's what
a hardship it was.
Yeah, I know.
So
I was talking to just the tyranny of Matty's film choices, unbearable.
I know. I was talking to producer Ben, who is also our friend, and he was like, this is basically a episode for Helena. I know it's your birthday episode, but this is a Helena episode.
So,
and I was like, yeah.
Maddie, in true Hobbit fashion, decided to give a gift for their birthday to Helena, specifically with this double feature. Which is, I don't even know if it's... We call them unusual double features sometimes. I don't know if this is particularly unusual, but I would like to... I've been calling it perspective. The 1975 It's Hot and We're Going Through It fucking duology.
Yeah, which makes sense. I mean, if you think about it, on paper, it's Jaws is a horror movie about a shark, and the other one is a kind of tense drama, slightly indescribable film featuring Al Pacino. You look at those and you're like, I don't see the connection here, but you're right. The connection is it's hot, we're going through it. And it's good, and it's 1975.
Yeah.
And we're on the East Coast.
Both of these movies are
There.
very humid. You can just, like, see the
Yes.
humidity in both of these movies.
Yes. And maybe part of that is because it's really hot right now, because it's the summer.
That's also true, yeah.
But, you know, when you watch
So
this at other
miserable.
times, it is really, like, it feels like summer watching
They're
and not
very,
in a pleasant
both of
way,
these movies
necessarily.
are very, like, the summer aspect is, like, integral to both of these movies, I think. You have the, like, two kind of... I don't know, I actually also really appreciated watching Jaws and then Dog Day Afternoon with the vibe of, like, Dog Day Afternoon is what happens to the people who can't afford to go be in Jaws.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Specifically the people who get on the ferry and come over the weekend. Or I guess the Islanders, too. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I love that woman in Jaws, the sort of, I don't even know what her character's name is, but she's got like the tan and the hair, and she's always like, Ellen, never, if you're never born here, you're not an Islander, never.
Yeah,
yes, her. Yes.
She's really funny. I love all the extras and the side characters in that movie. And in Dog Day Afternoon.
Yeah. Brody narrowly avoided being in Dog Day Afternoon by moving to Amity Island the year before.
Now
What's
that I'm thinking about that, fuck.
Is that Roy Scheider very easily could have been in Dog Day Afternoon. I'm sure it was like this. I mean, he did French Connection like a year before.
Oh, that is true.
Well, yeah, the year before Dog Day Afternoon.
Have I seen the French Connection?
I have not.
I don't think so.
I watched it specifically
say.
for him.
Yeah.
The same way that I watched Sorcerer for
Mood.
him as well. No, Sorcerer, just Sorcerer, not the Sorcerer. It's not about what you think it's about at all. Tragically.
Oh, okay.
French Connection is 1971.
Sad.
Oh, it's 71. Oh.
I mean, I'm just looking at
so
it
a
right
bit
now.
before.
Gene Hackman.
He's hot in
Wow.
it,
Wild.
You know, he's hot in it. It's whatever.
No, I have not seen this movie. I was thinking about something else.
It's pretty good.
For some reason, I don't know. You said French Connection, and I was like, my brain was like, Day of the Jackal. These are not the same thing. I love Day of the Jackal, though.
Similar
vibes. There's a
genre,
vibe there.
really.
Yeah.
Day of the Jackal, 3 Days in the Condor, or
3 Days of the Condor, also a really good movie.
Yeah.
Day of the Jackal fucking bangs. My dad loves that movie.
Yeah, it's their
I've never
dad
heard of
dad
this movie.
thrillers.
Yeah,
dad thrillers.
my dad has introduced me to 70s dad thrillers, and I love them.
same.
So,
Wonderful.
you know. Yeah, they're
very
fucking
wonderful.
good as hell.
My dad can't help it. He was a teenager during this decade.
I mean,
Yeah.
same. Shout out to
So
my
we're
father,
all of our
who I love
dads,
and has
yeah.
very good taste in movies.
But this
I
one
did
was
get that
nice.
as a
These two
quiz
were...
result. It was like, nice film taste. Did your dad pick it out for you? And I'm like, shut up.
I mean...
No, in my case, Helena's dad picked it out for me.
There you go. Same diff.
We all have to start somewhere. What was I saying? What was I thinking?
I don't know. The year is
I'm not
1975.
The year
The
is
temperature is
1975.
It's hot as
This
balls.
was right. This was 1975. So this was a year after Godfather Part 2, which is important. And 3 years
Jesus.
after...
That's
3
wild.
years after Godfather. So Al Pacino was 3 years after his first Oscar nomination. I'm assuming he got nominated for Godfather 2 as well. And John
think
Cazale, who also plays Sal in this movie, of course, is in both the Godfather movies. Probably not nominated because life is stupid and unfair.
He's wild.
And God, was this his last movie? He didn't do many.
No,
he didn't do
I
many
think-
before he passed away.
No, I want to say that Deer Hunter
Look
was
this up.
his last
That sounds
movie.
right.
I'm gonna be just the fucking Google guy for a minute.
Thank God.
Do it. Do it.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. Great actor.
Yeah, very good. This is the only thing I've seen him in, is Dog Day Afternoon. I was like, wow, very good.
It just makes me
this
just weep in Godfather. Anyway.
Yeah. No, so this double feature came about because on 4th of July, I went over to producer Ben, who is our friend's house, and I was like, can we watch Jaws because it's 4th of July? And he was like, yeah, I've only seen like TV cuts of it on AMC. I've never seen it all the way through. I've just kind of seen parts of it. Let's watch Jaws. And I was like, hell yeah, dope. Watch Jaws. And I was like, I fucking love Jaws. I'm on a Jaws high right now. And he was like, you've never seen Dog Day Afternoon, right? Random thought. And I was like, no, I never got around to seeing it. He was like, do you just want to watch Dog Day Afternoon? It came out in the 70s. And I was like, sure, why not? That's a double feature, right? Really good. Worth watching back to back, I would say. Which gave me the inspiration here. I think once again, on paper, it is odd to put these two movies together, but there's something about, like, the feeling of both these movies in terms of, like, the way they look, and the tension that, like, made sense as a pair. They were complementary, if not necessarily identical. And there's something about, once again, I'm a pretentious film nerd, I have a film podcast, but, like, God, there's something about the way that we filmed movies in, like, the 70s and 80s that just fucking hits different, and it is something that is missing from, I will not say all, but a lot of modern cinema, which to me is very frustrating.
I
I like when they talk a lot, they talk over each other.
Yeah. Shot length, average shot length is fucking drastically shorter in, like, from, like, the, like, late 90s on than it used to be. Like, you just have, everybody just cuts every, like, fucking 5 seconds in movies these days.
And
like,
if they do longer shots, they're doing it on purpose. And
yeah, it's like you know, like, we gotta do a really long shot, and, like, it's all about, like, the camera work, but it's like modern movies don't bother, like, so many modern movies don't bother to block scenes because you're gonna cut every 5 seconds. So you're just like, it's all just like picture, as opposed to the camera's going to stand here and people are going to walk over. Nobody walks around on cameras. Everything is you know, tableau to tableau to tableau. I mean, not, like, exclusively, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yes, totally. And I agree. Yeah. Which is, like, for some movies that works, right? I don't want to...
Oh, yeah,
I don't ever want to be on this podcast
bad.
and being like, oh, I hate modern movies. Modern movies suck. Everything is bad. Because that's not true and that's not fair. But it's also, I cannot lie and be like, there isn't something missing now. There is, like, a piece of the art that has been lost, and that is so fucking annoying. We were talking about Stranger Things Season 4 in our group chat. I have not seen it. I saw Stranger Things Season 1 and was like, great, this is a perfect little encapsulated show. Enjoyed it. Enough of that. And then they kept making it, and I was like,
yeah.
Alright then. Everybody kept being like, hey, you should watch Stranger Things. You like D&D in the 80s. And I was like, I'll just watch an 80s movie.
If that's what Stranger Things was about from season 2
maybe
onwards,
I would watch.
Yeah, but go fuck yourself. Because they, like, stopped playing
I don't think
it after
I would.
Season 2.
No,
Yeah.
I
don't think I would. I think I would just...
I was talking to a coworker who was like, yeah, like, I want to try playing D&D, like, because of Stranger Things. And I was like...
I mean, that's cool.
What? I mean, that's great. But, like, seriously?
What you're going to be playing is not like what's...
D&D in Stranger Things.
There is in the first season, it's like a backdrop thing that, like, they're the team and all the kids play it. And it's
first season,
sort
but,
of like...
I don't remember dick about it. I was really depressed at the time, so, you know.
Well, and there's something about D&D in the first season, this is going off topic, but whatever, that, like, where it seems kind of baked into the structure of how they work as a team and how the show turns out, where it's like, we know how to do this and we can believe in this stuff because of D&D, and they use their D&D as, like, a reference point.
That's
which
fair.
Is really
I think
fun.
I'm just misremembering this show quite wildly.
Yeah. No, I mean, season 1 is very good, I think, but again, like, I agree with Matty completely. Like, it felt like a really nice, tight story that one season, and then it kept going.
This is a rare situation where they made one season of a show, and they should have stopped at the one season, where most of the time Netflix is like, we're gonna make one season of a show, and then we're gonna stop making the show. But in this case, they were like, what if we kept milking this fucking cash cow? Yeah. I also feel bad for I feel so bad for those kids. But that's separate. Yeah. Anyway, the point being is that there are so many, like, we are at the point now in the timeline where, like, 40 years on, we are like, 80s is cool again. 80s nostalgia is very in right now. But none of the things that are 80s nostalgia are as good as stuff that was made in the 80s. Because nobody's trying to actually recreate what was being made in the 80s and 70s. They're just trying to go for, like, the aesthetic. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, but, like, just watch The Lost Boys. I don't understand what's missing. Like,
no,
if you're gonna make an 80s-inspired piece, you have to make something that's 80s inspired.
When they're aping the aesthetic, it's like it's not even the aesthetic where we're talking about. Where like nobody has shot a Michael Mann movie that looked like Manhunter since Manhunter came out, and that's another movie where I'm like I think about that. The blocking in that movie is just such like a nerdy thing to say, but the blocking in Manhunter is
nerdy
so
on our
good.
Film podcast.
Yeah, real nerdy.
This is a safe space,
podcast. Okay, thank you. Inside your AirPods, a safe space. But like that's the kind of thing I feel like we should be nostalgic for, and like they don't do that. It's just the idea of what they were or something instead of actually trying to learn lessons from it. Like we don't have to like make the exact same movies, but there's a reason
and I don't
that those
want them
worked.
to.
No.
There's this idea. I think what really bugs me is there's no actual thought put into the like. Maybe that's harsh, right? Fuck it, I'm on my own podcast. I can be harsh if I want. Whatever. There's no thought or study into like what made these pieces of media so iconic for what makes an 80s movie an 80s movie. How can I watch Jaws and be like, yeah, man, this is the 70s? What about that reads as the 70s? It's just a like, fucking Black Sabbath or what? Like, it's just looking at the Wikipedia page for stuff that was popular in the 80s and being like, great, here we go. And it's like, there's no study. And like, I don't know.
No, it's this weird paint by numbers thing.
It feels lazy, and it feels like a nostalgia grab of like, hello, millennials, you remember the 80s and 90s, and it's like, no, we don't. We were all like born in the 80s and 90s. Like, I mean, we remember the 90s or whatever, but like none of us were like teens, and it's like, doesn't matter. You give a shit about the 80s.
What I remember from the 90s is the fucking cool like space pattern like carpets they had in bowling alleys and kids getting slimed on Nickelodeon. That's what I remember from the 90s. And you know what? Quite honestly, I'm sure that my memories of the 90s are quite better than most adults' memories of the 90s, so I will hold on to my memories, frankly. Anyway.
Anyway, the point being is I was watching these two movies and I was like, hot dang, they don't make them like this anymore. We should talk about Jaws and Dog Day Afternoon. And then I proceeded to trick all of you into talking about why they don't make movies like this anymore. Moving on. We've talked about Jaws on this podcast multiple times because Jaws is a fucking good movie.
Okay. I wasn't sure before doing this I couldn't remember if we had done an entire episode on it.
We had not done an episode. No, we've not done a Jaws episode before, but we definitely talked about it before.
Jaws.
Because it's hard not to. It's like, it is the shark movie. Anytime you talk about... we talked about Deep Blue Sea. Because it's like, it's so hard not to watch any shark movie and not compare it to Jaws. Because it's like, that's it. That's the shark movie.
It's
for a good reason. I know it's technically categorized as a horror movie. I do not think of it as a horror movie. I think of it as a friend.
Not either.
But beyond that,
my close personal friend, Steven Spielberg's Jaws.
Yeah. Bruce, my friend, the shark.
I mean, it is suspenseful, but I don't think of it as a horror movie either.
Yeah, people will make gifts out online and be like, my favorite horror male protagonist, and I'll be like, one of the Jaws guys?
That's not a horror movie.
No, but like, to be fair, I was like we've talked about like a couple of our parents went to go see it when it came out, and like, terrifying. Like, compared to like the horror we have now, maybe not, but for like a movie that was incredibly mainstream.
Mm-hmm. And that is a good
point. Like, a lot of blood. Like, a lot of blood. Fairly gory. That the girl's body you see at the beginning that's like covered in sand and crabs, like it has its moments for sure.
Up, I'd forgotten how fucked up and gross that was. And it happened, I was like, ah!
It is. I think the thing about Jaws is that you think, like, this movie's not very scary, it's mostly just very tense and suspenseful, and then it has these moments where you're like, whoa, fuck! Like, Quint gets bitten in half, like, on screen.
Yeah, my man gets
There's fucking
eaten on screen.
Blood and gore
you can hear
everywhere.
His ribs crack underneath the
it's mad fucked up.
Oh, man. I wonder how many
crazy.
squibs they had to put in him.
Oh, so many squibs.
A
Man.
lot.
So many
Yeah,
I was
for
thinking
sure.
about that story recently because, of course, we recently lost the great James Caan, who is in amongst many things, The Godfather. And there's an interview with him talking about this scene in The Godfather where he's like, how many squibs do you have? Oh my god, fuck, there's so many. There are so many, and I thought I was gonna die because it, like, hurts. It hurts when you put those on, man, when those get exploded over your body. But
Yeah.
it's very believable.
Thanks for your service, James Caan.
Thank you for your service.
For real.
And Robert Shaw, of course, who, managed to squeeze out that fucking iconic monologue.
Oh my
finally.
god.
That just is like... That monologue, like, goes so much harder than I remember. Every single time I see it, I'm like, oh yeah, this is just, like, raw as shit out of kind of nowhere. Because he's like,
Josh really is
like,
all fun and games until then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You, like, think you understand who Quint is, Like you have his, you think you have his number, you think you understand what kind of character he is, and you're like, oh, okay. That escalated quickly.
Yeah, and that makes his death so much more fucked up, that he went through that horrible experience to be eaten by a shark.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So good.
This movie's really fucking good.
It's so great.
Something masculinity is... I don't even know where it's like I have
Dudes
like
rock.
3/4 of a thought about that, but it's like, for real though, like, there's a lot of, like, anxiety about manliness in those movies. I'm thinking about all of the stuff with, like, Brody, like, not really understanding how he doesn't, he's not a sailor. Like, he hasn't, like, spent a shitload of time on boats or whatever. And
he's
like
a former New York cop.
Yeah, he's a former New York cop.
And he's afraid of water.
Yeah, it's I don't know, the sort of. Oh my god, sorry, I don't know. My brain is just not putting.
It's fine. So like, yeah. So there's Brody, former New York cop. Hard for him to fit into this town. He's afraid of water.
Yeah.
And, like, nobody respects him is the other part. Is, like, some people do, right? But they're always asking stuff of him. There's not usually a lot of, like, hey, thank you for what you do. People are yelling at him in the streets. Yeah. The mayor refuses to listen to him. He takes the blame for a lot of stuff that's not necessarily his fault. And he just kind of takes it.
Yeah.
And then you get to Hooper, who's, like, educated, has money, but, like, these are not people who give a shit about either of those things. He's some random rich out-of-towner. Like, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
And they spend so much of that movie being like, please God, will anybody listen to us about the shark? And no one gives a shit. No one cares. That
the real villain
I'm
of
thinking
Jaws
about,
is
like, if
capitalism.
emasculating. Yes.
But also.
Yeah. And then you have Quint, who's very, like, machismo. He is, like, definitely a town outsider, but it's also one of those things where it's like, when they decide to hunt the shark, like, who do they turn to? This guy. And he's the one who dies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is, like, this big, buff, like, shark hunter. This is what he does. He's the, like, expert here. And the two of them survive, which is a very interesting kind of twist. Is they're the ones who are able to... And Brody, specifically, is the one who kills the shark. Who doesn't know shit about sharks.
Nope.
He's the one who pulls it off.
He doesn't know shit about sharks, but he knows how to fucking problem solve.
Yeah.
He gets one of the most iconic environmental kills on in the history.
Yeah.
Check
that kill, I forget.
Air.
I forget how nuts it is every time until we get to the part where I'm like, oh fuck, the shark blows up in this movie, and then like 5 seconds later the shark blows up. I'm like,
the shark extremely blows up.
The
shark blows up like with extreme prejudice.
There's
like,
so many little like foreshadowing drops leading up to that in that movie. We know we talk about when like earlier he's flipping through the like little book and he sees the picture of a shark chewing on like with a tank in its mouth, and then like when they're actually on the boat and Brody like almost knocks over one of the air tanks and Hooper yells at him, and Quinn's like, I don't know what, because he's seeking at every opportunity to, you know, make Hooper feel inferior, and so he's like, I don't know what the shark is going to do with that. Eat it, I suppose. And it's like, yeah, boy.
Like, ha ha ha. Fucking Apollo gifting prophecy to this fucking guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
He won't be alive to see it, but he's gonna take a share in it anyway. Oh, God.
Yeah, totally.
So good. I, too, have so many, like, half-formed thoughts, which I think are actually the kind of the best thoughts to have after watching a movie, quite frankly. I don't know. I always feel like... I always know that a movie is actually good when I have, like, an idea spinning around, but I can't actually... It's not like, this means this, and this means this, and this is what the movie is trying to say, quote unquote.
Yeah.
And that's just partly because I can't word. I can't words. I am a writer, but I can't write, so don't worry about it.
For real.
We all know what that's like. So
yeah, there's something about, like, when a movie leaves something for you to kind of ponder over. The fact that, like, we've all seen this movie now multiple times, and there's still, like, kind of, like, bits and pieces to gnaw on in terms of thoughts about this movie. And it's like, it's still so engaging every time, and every time I walk away with more kind of little half thoughts about it. I've talked about this podcast on the show before, I think. It's a film reroll. I love it. It's great. They do tabletop and they replay movies or whatever. And they did Jaws at one point, and they basically just did Jaws. They didn't spin off and do crazy shit. It really was mostly just the plot of Jaws, except I think they all died at the end because they all fucked up their roles. But other than that, like, it was the plot of Jaws. And they do interviews or they do stuff at the end where they talk about, like, the movies or whatever. Someone asked a question. And the guy who runs these games is like, it's interesting going into a movie because what everybody tries to do is they're all actors. They try and play as true to the character as they can. And with some movies, they are just so tightly written that, like, we cannot do anything except for play the plot of the movie, because there's nothing else any of these people would have done. And Jaws is one of those movies that is just so, like, there's no other logical course of action any of these people would have taken.
Dude, once you put those dudes on that boat, like, it is locked in.
Yeah, and even going up to that point, like, it is pretty on rails.
Yeah.
Which is, like, I think really a testament to how well this movie is written and created. And that is, like, there's never a point where you watch Jaws and think, like, I wouldn't do that. I mean, I find that to be kind of annoying behavior anyway. But, like, there's never a point where you think, like, damn, Brady? Hello? Brody, why did you do that?
Brady Bunch?
Yeah. It's always like, no, I get it. I understand.
Yeah.
And I want him to win, is the other point. Is, like, I want them to win no matter what happens. They're very easy to root for.
They're so, I don't know. I always also, like, the blend of, like, tonal stuff, especially when they're on board the ship in Jaws, is so fucking great. The way that they've, you know, it's like sometimes they're fucking around, and then they're, like, you know, getting trauma dumped on, and then all of a sudden it's just very,
and then it's shark time,
and then they're like, but, like, you can't, you know, nobody is like, what am I trying to say here? These characters get distracted. They are, like, capable of getting distracted in a way that, like, human beings just, like, are. And I feel like sometimes you have the, like, fantasy of, like, the hyper competent, like, problem solver or whatever who simply just, like, never gets distracted. And this is just, like, you know, these guys are, like, out here, like, in extreme danger of getting fucking slurped by a gigantic shark, and they're still, like, getting drunk and singing sea shanties at each other and stuff, even when they've also been at each other's throats, like, 5 minutes ahead of time. It's just very, I don't know, again, like, there's just such, an emotional naturalism to these movies that both this and Dog Day Afternoon, that I feel like I see more of these days in, like, things that are, like, self-consciously, like, dramas. You know, like, the emotional, as opposed to, like, both of these movies are, like, thrillers, really. But they're very emotional thrillers.
Yeah, totally.
Like, it's not just the audience that is experiencing, like, thriller emotions. Like, the characters are experiencing thriller emotions.
Yeah.
I feel like, especially when you consider that these movies were both, Jaws especially, but also Dog Day Afternoon, such commercial successes as well as critical successes, that these were big, tentpole is a strong word, but that these were big movies.
I mean, they were big box office successes.
Yeah. And I think that what you were talking about, like that emotional naturalism, sometimes a lot of it is up to the director, but a lot of that is to the actor. I think that where you see that most often now is in a lot of more indie films.
Yeah.
Especially in the States. And, like, I think a lot of people have been talking about this, so maybe this thought is rubbing off on me, is that there's this sort of, like, lessening of a regard for the use of an actor's face. And an actor's, like, natural persona as well, in terms of, like, just letting the camera sit on your actor for a long time, which is, you know, I could go on and on about the Marvel movies' particular crimes in this area, but it's just a general sort of, and you see it in manifest in all sorts of ways, but I think one of the most notable ones is how so often now, and it's not like it hasn't happened before, but you see all of these actors getting in, like, fat suits and makeup to look like they're fatter than they are, instead of just, like, hiring an actor who's fat to play a part. Like, they just released,
should have just hired that one dude who Colin Farrell looked like he was in a fucking, like, everybody has a mask that looks like, you know, oh god, okay, I'm referencing an old ass, like, the Old Man from Uncle TV show, or one of the James Bond movies where, like, everybody has a James Bond mask or whatever. Like, it looks like Colin Farrell in, like, a mask of this other guy, I think he's, like, Richard something.
Yes.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
And it's like, you should have just
Richard
fucking
Kind.
hired Richard
the other
Kind,
guy.
because you clearly wanted Richard. He's right there.
Yeah. He can do that stuff. Richard Kind could have played the Penguin easy. He could have played it. And I'm not saying, and it's not saying Colin Farrell is bad.
No, it's not Colin Farrell's fine. It's just like,
but it's just like, why? Why do it?
Why is Colin Farrell in there? You made it. You were like, let's just make him look like a completely different person. And I'm like, that is a thing. Like, I feel like there's the sort of enthusiasm for transformation is like, I don't know, man. I feel like the enthusiasm for, like, not to shade on the absolutely incredible work being done by, like, the people who make those costumes and prosthetics and do the computer work and so all that stuff. It's phenomenal, the level of skill on display there. Like, it's buck wild. I'm always incredibly impressed with it, but I'm also just like, y'all, like, you can just let your actor act. It's fine. Like, I will go along. I'm willing to, I can suspend my disbelief. I can. If you just, like, people will do it. I don't know. Yeah, anyway. I know what you mean. Like, I think we're all getting at the same thing, which is that like, yes. Yeah, like, the thing about, like, actors is, like, if you're casted, like, you're choosing a particular actor for a particular job in the way that, like, you know, you might, like, mix a very, very particular paint color. Like, you want this thing and no other for this particular purpose. And if you're gonna try to erase all of the things that make that person that particular actor, fucking why? What's the point?
Yeah.
Like, if you just want everybody to be interchangeable white dudes with brown hair who look like we were grown in a vat, anyway, that's a separate thing. It drives me fucking insane.
Yeah.
But to tie back into, like, these movies is, like, none of these actors have that issue. They they just look like fucking guys.
Everybody
My God.
looks like a person in these movies. Yeah, like, they're hot. I mean, Al Pacino in Dog Day Afternoon. Like, 70s Al Pacino was, like, one of the hottest men alive, like, in the history of men.
Say that. Say it.
He also looks like his face has character.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, he has
also,
interesting
he walks into
eyelids
the bank
and going on.
In that first scene, and his hair is, like, literally sticking up all over the place, like he would later talk about. Like, when he talks about going to that one Oscar ceremony, not for this one, I think, but a different one where he had his hair styled, and he's like, yeah, I look like a bird's nest. Like, and you see pictures of it, and you're like, oh yeah, it does look like a bird's nest.
Very
it's
much
kind of like that in that first scene. Like, he's sweating the whole time. Everybody's sweating.
Oh my God, he's so, like, sweaty in that movie.
That movie is so fucking sweaty.
It's a sweaty movie.
Which you don't see sweaty movies anymore. That's the other part. Everyone is, like, being frequently fucking sprayed with a hose or something. I don't know.
You gotta get a little mixture in between takes.
The fact that I was looking at that and being like, oh my God, I don't remember the last time I saw somebody, like, sweaty in a movie for an extended period.
Yeah, which is
wild.
Which is
it
part
is
of
very
the, like,
which is very in line with, like, 70s sensibility, right?
Yeah.
Is that it's very natural. Everybody's just kind of
and
doing their thing.
It's very immersive. You
it's
know,
very
like you see everybody, you're like, oh, all of these people are stuck in this little room and they're all sweating. Like, your body has, like, a sense of what that feels like. Everybody's been stuck in a fucking elevator or whatever on a hot day, and there's a ton of people in a small space, and you're like, it sucked before, and now it is just all of us are sweating, and it's just sweaty. Like, there's a vibe, and, like, you see that, and your, like, fucking mirror neurons go, yeah, I know what that feels like.
Yeah, sympathy.
Yeah, and so it draws you further into, like, the moment of the movie.
Yeah, not that it's disruptive to not have somebody be sweaty, right? Like, I'm not generally watching a movie and thinking, like, why is this man not sweaty? I can't believe this. This is breaking my immersion. But, like, I've been in a hot bank when the AC was broken. It's a miserable experience. We all know.
I work in a bank right now. Like, which, by the way, makes watching Dog Day Afternoon fucking absolutely buck wild. Like, I am a bank teller. I work in a bank. And until, like, literally today, our air conditioning was fucked up. And it was, like, really fucking muggy inside of the bank. And I was watching this movie and I was like, oh boy.
Yeah. It was too immersive. You were like, I know this. I know this.
I was like, ah!
Yeah.
Quick, I gotta go find my name tag. I feel like I just clocked back in.
Oh, God.
No, like, in an okay way. In a way that's very, like...
See, I had that similar experience, but with the New York thing. Because the last time I saw this, I was not living in New York. And when this movie opened, and it was like, oh, this is a real thing that happened in Brooklyn. I was like, oh, yeah, you're right. It was a real thing
I could just go to that
Yes,
address.
sure did.
That's
go to that bank.
I was gonna say, like, like, what you live? This like in Prospect Park is where this is?
Now, I don't know, because they said that at the very end, I was listening for it, and the limo driver was like, had said he had been told to go to, like, Prospect Park West, which is relatively, it's not close to where I am, but it's a quick train ride to where I am. But Midwood Street is pretty close to where I am. Obviously, Midwood's a long street, which is why at the very end of the movie, I was like, why is there an ambulance here that says Midwood on it, but they drove to JFK Airport just outside of Queens? That doesn't make any sense. I was like, shut the fuck up. Shut up, shut up, shut up, you horrible goblin.
You've been New Yorker pilled.
Yeah.
Helena, there's no coming back.
They've taken you. You cannot come back to Oregon anymore. They will stop you at the airport.
No, but I have my passport and everything.
It doesn't matter.
He's so good in this movie, Al Pacino.
He's so good in this movie. Oh my god.
He's insane,
he's fucking rat.
It was very interesting watching this, and then the next week watching Heat, and being like, "Oh fuck, this sure is the same guy," because they're playing two really different guys. They being the two Al Pacinos, I guess.
Our non-binary hero, Al Pacino. Yeah.
Diversity win. No, but he's played two incredibly different guys, and it was very interesting watching that happen. But he's so compelling in Dog Day Afternoon. Like, speaking of people just being like guys, you want him to win. I was sitting there like, he kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Like, he's not great to either of his partners.
No.
You don't love that. But, like, I wanted him to win.
Yeah.
I wanted him to get out of that.
He's like fucked up and kind of a jackass, but he's also like instinctively caring.
Yeah.
In a way that's just like, and has just like a negative value of self-awareness.
Yeah. And makes up for that by having incredible amounts of charisma.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god.
He's just like, he's so like, what a rat terrier of a human being.
Yes. Great description.
Like, in a good way, you know?
Yeah.
Where it's just, you're like, there's a lot of dog in that little tiny dog. Like, there's a lot of guy in a small package.
He's shorter than us.
No, wait, yeah, he's my man is short.
Yeah.
He's like 5'6".
Short king.
Crazy.
Yeah.
He's 1 inch taller than me, I think.
Oh, I forget that you're shorter than us.
Yeah. Well, it says 5'6" on my resume. I'm 5'5".
You're 5'5"?
It says 5'6" on your resume!
Yeah, it's a time-honored tradition.
You put your height on your resume for what?
Some people like to know.
I don't know, man.
They like to know.
I'm sorry, you have to be 5'5" to work here. If you're any shorter, we cannot hire you.
You have to be a 5'5" to ride this ride.
Besides, you're 5'6" in your clompy boots, which, you know.
Yes, I'm 5'6".
Yeah, there we go.
So if I was wearing my Doc Martens, I could.
I was gonna say, doesn't everyone just measure doesn't everyone round up to their height in Doc Martens?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Shaking their head in disbelief over what so many options there could be.
Anyway.
Oh, another thing that was like just wild to me. We paused so somebody could go to the bathroom or something, and I was like, you know what's fucking nuts? Like, this film like predates the like full on militarization of the police in the US. Like, there's no, and they're still awful.
Yeah.
And it's still about them being awful. And everybody, like, knows that they're awful. Like, the whole neighborhood is just like, oh, there's, like, 79 bajillion cops here. Like, I don't even care what's going on here. Clearly the cops are wrong.
Yeah, Attica.
You know, like, whatever this fucking weirdo is doing cannot possibly be as bad as what the cops are doing. And I'm like, yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I first saw this, I think I actually saw this for the first time in 2020.
Wild.
Post, yeah. So it was A, the summer, B, post-pandemic, B, co-current to the beginning of the protests. So this was a very cathartic movie to watch in many ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, oh yeah, it's always been like that. That's right. Yay!
Yeah, the 70s.
The 70s.
Okay, can't think about that too hard. Gotta move on.
I have made this
joke about
time
too hard.
Yeah, speaking of the 70s, I have made this joke like 4 times. I'm gonna make it again, which is, I don't know what was up with dudes in Hollywood in the 70s, but that is the particular flavor of HRT that I want.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I read this post on Tumblr talking about, like, the way that they styled men specifically that gives them that particular silhouette.
Yeah.
But the hair and the style, really.
Oh man, it's the jeans, though. The fucking tight jeans that everybody is wearing. Oh my god! I'm like,
and they're
come
like
on
they're
with
like
this.
high waisted. You got dudes in high-waisted tight jeans
and crop
yeah,
tops.
it's just like
bring in the
good,
crop tops and
man.
the
Or
80s.
the tucked in shirt with the really sharp collars.
yeah, it's good
Yeah.
luck.
Yeah.
We love to see it.
Yeah,
Ugh.
very good.
Yeah,
The
this
way-
made me
I
miss-
cannot watch Jaws without just sitting there being like, man, Roy Scheider's so hot in this movie.
I can't. Roy Schneider is so hot in that movie. I like can't deal.
Thank you for validating
It's like embarrassing
my
for me.
years-long crush.
To say it out loud in front of people who are like not you guys, to be there with like my random friends or whatever and be like, man, Roy Scheider is so hot in this movie, and I have to turn and look at them and be like, maybe that's a weird opinion, actually.
No, it's
to
not.
then look at him again and be like,
No,
see him through
but
other
he's
people's
ju-
eyes
he's
and be
just
like, oh
really
no.
attractive in that movie. No,
He's
but like
so
him and
handsome.
fucking like young scruffy Richard Dreyfuss.
Hello.
A feast
Yeah.
for the eyes.
A feast for the eyes.
Ugh,
He's
you know,
so
it's
scruffy. in that
hard
movie.
hard for me to say because
So
he's
good.
playing a cop in The French Connection. He's very hot in The French Connection.
I mean, he's
That is
playing a cop in
motivation.
Jaws, too.
He's also playing a cop in Jaws, but I
Yeah.
don't think of him like that. In Jaws,
Yeah.
he's my best friend Brody.
He's not really. He doesn't do a
That's
whole
my
lot
sweet
of
cheese, my good
enforcing
time
either
boy.
the law or like private property. He's mostly
Yes.
like genuinely trying to keep people safe.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
when he's hunting a shark.
Yeah,
That's
and then
his
he's
main-
like
You get a
hunting
very-
shark.
Yes. You get a clear idea of why he left New York
Yeah.
and stopped being a New York cop.
Yeah,
And instead became, like... what is he? He's not like...
he's like a
What is his
small town
title?
I mean, he's the chief of police. It's just
okay, I was like, he's not a
police department
sheriff,
that seems
but I
to
like
have,
I couldn't remember.
He has
Yeah.
like two dudes.
Yeah, Chief Brody.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can tell like this is why this man stopped being a New York cop. He has a very like, not to be like men, but like he has a very like caring, like compassionate air about him, which is part of the reason that he takes so much of like what has happened to the people of his town on himself when it is not his fault.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean,
Every time I watch that scene where that woman her son died, who obviously, like, very upsetting that her son had got killed by a shark.
Name. She's so fucking good.
Yeah.
She's really
Rest in
good.
peace.
That scene is great. But every time she comes up in her morning gown and starts just ripping into him, I'm always like, it's not his fault.
No,
the mayor
like,
is
he
right
fucking-
there.
Yeah.
But you
He
look
tried.
at his face and
He
you can
fucking
tell what
tried.
he's thinking is like, you're right. You're
Yeah.
right.
I know.
And I cannot let this keep happening.
Yeah. And he's like good with his kids and has like
Yeah.
clearly has like
And
a
they
like
clearly
good
adore
relationship
him.
with his wife and stuff like that. He's very like
Yeah.
he's not the sort of like tortured male protagonist like vibe. He's
No.
just like a dude.
He's like a good guy.
Yeah, he's like a fundamentally decent guy. And then like Hooper's kind of like reckless, but he's also like a fundamentally pretty decent guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so glad that they become buddies and not like
Yeah.
in the book.
Yeah, there's
where
no
it's just so-
rivalry.
Yes.
Also,
Which I
like
think
reading the book is so weird. When I to be clear, I didn't finish the book because I tried reading it and I was like, oh, this is bad, huh? And so
yeah,
I
you were like, this
stopped
is not my girl Jaws. This is not
this
my
is not
friend
my girl
Jaws.
job. This is not my beautiful house. This is not my beautiful wife, etc., etc.
Yeah.
And like
did I
literally, this is
get
not my
here?
beautiful wife because like the scene where Brody comes in, it basically describes him as looking like. I thought of that thing. Who was it? I think it was Buck Henry said this when they wanted to cast like Robert Redford and a bunch of other blonde people in The Graduate instead of like who they ended up casting, which was obviously Dustin Hoffman. And Buck Henry called the casting that they wanted to go with a family of surfboards. It's kind of like that, like
Fuck, that's
like
funny.
Hooper is described as like this blonde, like college, kind of like the type of like the kid at the beginning of the movie who's with Chrissy before she gets killed and
Yes.
reports the incident, like that type
Yeah.
of guy, but a little bit older because he's like graduated, and you're like, and I'm like, this is not my young like T Hooper who comes in
Excuse
with
me,
his
who
little
is this?
beanie and his little blue sneakers and his
Fucking
his
denim on
double
denim.
denim. Get out. No. I don't want that.
Who is this man? I don't know him.
I don't know him.
I don't know her.
Make it so much more interesting. Not that Robert Redford isn't a fine actor. Not that, first of all, not that Robert Redford was ever up in contention for this part. I don't believe he was. But just as an example. Because it's a similar thing they wanted to do, speaking of Al Pacino, a similar want that the producers wanted for Michael and The Godfather too. They wanted somebody, and they're like, because they saw Al Pacino's screen test, they're like, he's not doing anything, and so they're just like, let's get fucking, I don't know, a not Al Pacino person, Robert Redford. I don't know. And again, he's a fine actor, but like, there's only so much.
He's not Al Pacino.
Yeah, he's not Al Pacino, and there's only so many ways in which you can use Robert Redford. You have to cast the role correctly. Like, for example, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. I don't know, would it be incredibly sexy for Al Pacino to be in that movie? No, but I think, sorry, yes, it would be incredibly sexy. Sorry, I missed it. But do I think that he would be better in that
Absolutely
role
not.
No, I think that he is perfectly cast in it. So there are roles that work for my man.
Same for the Sting.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
If you're gonna put Robert Redford in a movie, Paul Newman has to be there. I don't understand why this is so complicated.
It's not that complicated.
Or he has to be playing a parody of himself.
That, or he has to be playing Death in an episode of The Twilight Zone. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Which Al Pacino could do, but...
Yeah.
Anyway.
But he didn't, so...
But he didn't.
So it doesn't matter.
Oh my god.
One of the things I was thinking about after I watched Dog Day Afternoon is, like... Now, would I say that Sonny is good gay representation? He's not a great guy. Do I think that it's not necessarily worthwhile to delve into, like, what's good representation? Not always. Not in this case, anyway.
What's important is it believable representation, too.
Yeah. And also, I don't know if necessarily, like, the quality of, like, him representing the gays, like, matters in this case.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's not, like, I don't know, I feel like trying to award, like, points doesn't matter here. Sometimes it's like, yeah, this is important, I want this to be it. But in this case, it's like, it's Dog Day Afternoon. That's not, like, I'm not like, yay, another win for the gays. I don't know.
No, it's another way in which he is sort of slightly at odds with everything around him in a way that I find to be very, like, believable.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a really great way of putting it.
Yeah.
And obviously I knew that going into this movie because I knew this was based on a true story, and I knew that story already, so, like, I was like, I kind of know how this plays out already. But it was still interesting to see that reveal happen and see everybody else kind of react to it, including the outside world, the kind of nebulous, like, crowd that was around the situation in between the moments in, like, the barbershop and the bank and the interesting. But I was talking about afterwards, like, thinking about between 1975 and, like, early 2000s, like, other big mainstream movies that featured, like, a gay protagonist. Not many. Just, like, like, I don't have a place I'm taking this thought. I was like, that's just a very interesting thought experiment to think, like, we consider 1975 to be so long ago by this point, even if it's not really in the, case of human history or whatever. But it's like,
the 80s were really, really reactionary.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's like you go back that far and you expect things to be, like, progressing linearly, and then you're like, oh, wait. The 70s were, like, genuinely just more diverse in terms of, like, the media and stuff like that. Like, not necessarily in a way that, like, always reads as, like, correct to a modern eye or something like that, but, like,
totally.
Fam, like, that movie ends with, like, what's Leon's last name? Anyway, it's just, like, Leon, Leon's last name is now a woman and living in New York City. Like, just
Sherman, I think.
Yeah, Leon Sherman is now a woman. Just, like, totally without qualifications, just like, yep. woman.
And no one ever makes fun of her for that
No.
either. It's like, I went to a psychiatrist and she said that I was a woman and that I should live as a woman. And no one's ever like, okay, weirdo.
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay,
Yeah.
now we understand why he's here.
Yeah. Now we get it.
And, you know, I understand why he calls you his wife.
Yeah.
Because you guys got
Yeah,
married.
because you guys got fucking married and you looked baller in that wedding dress.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my god, that photo of her in the wedding dress,
so
like,
funny.
genuinely kind of made me tear up. And I was
I
like,
got
wow,
really
I was
emotional
sad.
about
But,
it.
like, yeah. It's just interesting. And it's like, wow, what happened in the 80s and 90s that maybe made, like, kind of stuff go backwards? I don't know. Who's to say? It doesn't matter.
It's a bell curve. It's a bell curve.
Something. Anyway.
I mean, that.
Reagan.
Funny that this is the same year that Rocky Horror came out, eh?
Yeah.
Speaking of.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. I need to watch Rocky Horror again. It's been way too long. But looking
God,
through
same.
1975 movies, I was like, whoa, shit. Yeah, man.
1975 was a
pretty kick-ass year for
banger
movies.
year for movies.
It was.
Yeah. Yeah, so we've
It was
got...
a very good year for Best Pictures, too. Anyway, go.
Totally. No, I was just going to start moving into, like, 1975 movies and stuff, so if you want to cover that, go for it.
I gotta go look up the Oscar noms for 1975.
So the Best
I think
Picture,
Kevin
I
wrote
always
them
think
down
of
here.
this year because the Best Picture nominations are all, like, incredibly good. It was only 5 nominees, but it was Dog Day Afternoon and Jaws were both nominated for Best Picture, and then Cuckoo's Nest, Nashville, and Barry Lyndon.
Shut the front fucking door. Also, I've never seen Nashville, and one of these
Neither have I.
days, the two kicks that have been coming for a long time in terms of, like, I'm gonna watch a shitload of these, like, a specific, like, type of movie, are Barbara Streisand movies and Altman films.
Yeah. Oh, please. Yeah, I was thinking while we were having that
As an
conversation
excuse to watch
about
Gosford
70s
Park
men,
for the 29th time.
I was also thinking about Elliot Gould in The Long Goodbye and how fucking hot he is, like hotter than any man has ever been in any movie ever. Long Goodbye. And also about since I've been thinking about watching Kiss Kiss Bang Bang recently, how amazing a double feature The Long Goodbye would be with Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Because he's
Okay, can we do that for our next? Can we
Hell
do
in
that for
your
our next
mind.
double feature?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Calling
Don't
it. We're
easy.
doing that one
Yes.
for our next double feature. I'm sorry. My brain shorted out thinking about Elliot Gould and The Long Goodbye.
Yeah, mood though. Like mood though.
Anyway,
And yes, but Dog Day Afternoon was nominated for Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor, for Al Pacino, Best Supporting Actor for Chris Sarandon as Leon, and then it won Best Original Screenplay. And then Jaws was nominated. Jaws had like a really weird, like, you know, sometimes like movies get like a group of nominations, and you're like, yeah, those nominations all together make sense. Jaws had a really random spat of nominations. It was like it was a very like war movie 1917 type of like, and by 1917 I mean the movie and not the year type of nomination, where it was like Best Picture, Best Score it was nominated for, and then it won Best Sound and Best Editing.
Not Best Adapted?
Wasn't nominated for Best Adapted Screenplay, wasn't nominated for any acting awards, wasn't... Yeah. Ezra?
You think it's because it was kind of a, like...
no,
get
here,
mad for a
finish.
second?
Please finish talking. No,
Oh,
this is.
I'm
I'm going
done,
to derail
Maddie.
this thing.
Oh.
No, Maddie, keep talking.
Do you think it was because it was more of a summer blockbuster type of movie?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, like, you know, a horror movie, ostensibly.
Jaws is
Yeah.
kind of credited with inventing the summer blockbuster.
Yeah.
Which we talked about during our summer blockbuster
we sure
episode,
did.
I
That's
think.
to,
The 70s
to look,
were
continuity.
kind of a weird decade in terms of, like, outliers getting... Not a weird decade, just a kind of a cool decade of outliers like that getting nominated, though, because so many things were changing, which is why, like, Star Wars gets a Best Picture nomination, and Annie Hall gets a Best Picture nomination, and The Exorcist gets a Best Picture nomination. Like, you just don't see that happening much anymore.
Yeah. No.
But... Ezra,
But this is an Oscar season, so we don't need to complain about that right now.
We don't need to, but Ezra, did you want to get mad about something?
Yes,
though?
I just needed to get mad about the fact that Sidney Lumet never won an Oscar.
He fucking what?
No, this was a Peter O'Toole situation. They gave him an honorary one, but he never actually won an Oscar.
Bitch!
Not an individual one, anyway. Like, he won things for, like, he did movies that were won Best Picture, but, like, no. My man never got an individual, yeah.
This is the man who is like, I don't know.
Four Best Director noms.
This is my first movie.
Director noms.
I'm just gonna, I don't know, make fucking 12 Angry Men. No big deal.
12 Angry Men? Movie. Fucking Network?
Didn't win. That's like, it's kind of like the insane fact, I'm not going to talk about, we'll talk about it in our next episode, but I watched Barton Fink for the first time recently, and just thinking about, because his birthday was recent, and we were all talking about it, how, like, John Goodman has never won an Oscar, or I don't even think, I feel like he's surely been, God, he has to have been nominated, but, like,
there's no way
think has ever been recognized. I really don't think.
Hold on, let me pull up Wikipedia here just to double check, but, like,
I've never seen Before the Devil Knows You're Dead.
Why did that come up? Oh, it's a Sidney Lumet.
It's his last Sidney Lumet film.
Oh.
I'm Wikipedia free associating.
Philip Seymour Hoffman and Ethan Hawke playing troubled brothers, though, Ezra.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Hey, did you ever just stop and get blindsided by the concept that Ethan Hawke and Pedro Pascal are going to be in a gay cowboy movie?
I do think about that like every single day. John Goodman.
I will not know peace until we have this movie.
Yeah, he's
and
won.
I will not know peace because I will be obsessed with this movie.
Emmys, Golden Globes,
he's never
stuff.
been nominated.
Never been nominated for an Oscar.
That is the most batshit insane thing I've ever heard in my entire life. He's John Goodman.
The only thing he's won in the SAG Awards is he got the outstanding cast for Argo.
That's such a random ass movie to get. I mean,
that
it won Best Picture.
Oh,
I know.
God, I forgot that it won Best. I saw Argo in a movie theater. No impact. I remember that movie functionally
no cultural
not
impact
at all.
either.
I acquired, in quotes, all of the Best Picture nominations that year, so I watched them all on my computer. I remember that Alan Arkin is in that movie.
Yeah, he's
pretty fun.
Yeah, sure.
God, I cannot believe this. That he's only ever won 3 awards in his whole life.
Just drop.
And it's all just like the randomest shit.
Of movies and
stupidest thing I've ever heard. He's so good. Anyways, this is not an Oscar this is not a podcast episode about John Goodman.
This is not a podcast about John Goodman, but
spiritually it is. But like, also speaking of Barton Fink, congratulations to John Turturro on his Emmy nomination for Severance. We See You King.
We do love that. And
Matthew
pitting
McFadden.
him and Christopher Walken against each other in that category is just cruel.
It's like him and Christopher Walken and Matthew McFadden are all nominated in that category, and I'm like, I can't.
Yeah, but like
specifically
pitting him and Christopher Walken in Severance against each other is just like, I'm gonna die.
I know it's what he wanted. This is what he was like. This is why he brought Christopher Walken onto the show, so they could have this sort of like All About Eve moment, but lovingly.
My God,
the long game.
The long game.
John Turturro is such a perfect example of the 1948 treaty between Jews and Italians that allows us to play each other in Hollywood movies.
Every time you bring this up, it fucking kills me.
Yeah.
Every time you make this gag, it eliminates me.
Was one of the originators, of course.
Yeah. James Caan, may his memory be for a blessing. What a guy. Genuinely one of the hottest Jews ever.
Now, there's some guys who had some back hair. Not to bring it up in the conversation.
Yep, he sure does. That man had some back hair.
Only thing I can think about in those scenes in The Godfather when he's wearing that tank top suspender combination, and I'm like, God damn, dude.
As a hairy man.
Excellent.
That man has a carpet going on.
Excellent. Excited to watch The Godfather with you soon.
Yeah, dude, you really do.
Yep. I'm so excited.
We should make a date soon because I do need to watch.
Agreed.
I obviously watched part 1 recently, but I also need to watch part 2 again. So line up nicely. with my schedule of Godfather watching. Anyway,
Cool.
those movies didn't come out in 1975.
No, they did not.
It's fine. These movies were released into a post-Godfather world.
Wow, imagine.
Imagine.
So were we.
Yeah, right?
Let's see, other things came out in 75. Monty Python and the Holy Grail. We love you.
Truly a banger year for movies.
The original Stepford Wives. The original Picnic at Hanging Rock. Yeah.
Catch me yelling.
That was just like, I didn't even go fully down the list. That was just like my first initial glance. I was like, hot damn. I knew that any year that had both Dog Day Afternoon and Jaws had to have a bunch of bangers, right? Like, statistically, there's no way it was only going to be those two. But I was like, whoa. It's interesting. Every time we do a retrospective looking at, like, a specific year, I'm always like, it's fascinating to see what got grouped into years together, knowing obviously that the way films are made, that like some of these had to be multiple years in production or whatever, it just happened to come out this year. Always interesting though.
Yeah,
it was like Shivers, I think, is the first like feature-length movie from Cronenberg, came out this year.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Grey Gardens, obviously.
Dawn of a new era.
We mentioned. Tommy, The Who's Tommy, came out this year, of course.
We cannot possibly neglect to mention The Who's Tommy.
We cannot.
Spent deadass the summer after I graduated from high school. I spent so much fucking time driving around, and I had 4 CDs in my car, and one of them was The Who's Tommy.
It's
I've
essential.
listened to Tommy a
Worst
lot
picks.
of times.
Yeah.
The Underchair Man.
I regret
It's
nothing.
also the only movie that features Elton John strolling around in like just these huge shoes, just the biggest, like a giant Elton John, and
Biggest
just the
shoes
hugest
that you could
shoes.
imagine.
It's good stuff.
Dude, Dog Day Afternoon opening with an Elton John, like,
With Marina.
yeah,
So good.
Just oh man,
Yeah,
I just that started and I was just like, dog.
combinations.
Yeah.
I
will say I barely noticed the music at all in Dog Day Afternoon. I want to watch it again, like paying attention to different things, because I was so locked into the camera work. Also, like, I had a box fan going, and it was kind of between me and the TV, which I think was like kind of impeding and also like I didn't want to have that sound on really loud because see above Rio, I was watching this movie at like 11:30 at night. But like.
But I don't think there was that much music in the movie outside from the opening song. I think it was mostly.
It's quite honestly, diegetic sound.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that much score either, to be honest. In contrast to Jaws, which is like, of course,
score
the all-timers.
Yeah, John Williams.
And John Williams, motherfucker, almost made me cry for the first time during the the scene where his son is like mimicking him, and then like he's doing the thing, and John Williams score in it. I'm like, I fucking hate you, man! Stop it!
Okay. Brief ask game. I'm stealing this once again from Ben. Thank you, Ben.
Thank you, Ben.
Favorite John Williams piece, full score or just individual piece?
Oh Jesus.
It's a hard one, right?
Oh, that is so fucking hard. Hang on, I gotta look at this because I'm gonna forget something.
For me, right out of my pocket, I was like Duel of the Fates. But then for me, I had like that instant obvious answer, and then Ben started listing off some other stuff, and I was like, oh, fuck, shit, man. He's done a lot of incredible work.
He's done a lot of incredible work, and he has a lot of underrated stuff that I think is really good, and also iconic ones. For me, honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, it's not even like a whole piece. It's just what he wrote for the Force theme, or Luke's theme in the first Star Wars movie. The music that we all hear when he's looking up the two sons.
The twin sons.
The twin sons. For me, I mean, it's hard to think of anything
that shit gets you every time.
It gets me every fucking time. Although,
and it's such a great moment.
Yeah, he really knew. I was having a conversation with a coworker about this who studied music theory. And they're talking about how they did a whole class on like film scores, and how you don't see this as much anymore recently, but like how important score was to defining character and highlighting character, and like a lot of characters in these like in bigger action movies, especially in Marvel movies, don't have like themes anymore. And you look at like it can be definitely overused sometimes the further back you go, but there's like the use of themes is so important. So, like, having,
Star
like,
Wars
all of
loves
those
them.
themes... Yeah, like, I was listening to Yoda's theme the other day, actually, on the... Like, on my phone.
I've been...
Like, the Han and Leia theme.
Yes, I was gonna say. So I've been watching a lot of the Star Wars again with friend of the show, Madeline. We've been reintroducing her younger sister kind of fully to Star Wars because we're so fucking into Star Wars. And it's like, great, let's introduce you to this thing we know too much about. And Madeline is always very good at pointing out, like, here's a little bit where we get the Han and Leia theme. Is like, has a very good ear for that. And I've never really noticed any of that before. And every single time we're like, oh, fuck me.
Yeah.
Really? Right and here you do that? Oh, it's so good.
And he's so great about writing, like, instantly. If somebody were to ask you what the Jaws theme sounds like, they can do that for you instantly. And even people who haven't seen the movie can tell you what the Jaws theme is, right? And he still has these really brilliant, like, little adventure scores. Obviously, he's in Jaws. Obviously, he's talked about, like, how the main theme was inspired by Bambi, like some score that was used in Bambi. Which, let me tell you, motherfucker, I watched Bambi again recently for the first time in years. And I was, like, listening for it, and I was like, oh, shit, it is here! You stole it!
So fucking
not stole
smart.
it completely.
I love
But that's another example
but lifted
of, like...
parts of it,
Lifted. It was inspired by the first two notes of it, and then... That's another example of theme highlighting character, because famously, it's, well known that when you hear the theme, the shark theme in Jaws, that's when you know that the shark is actually there, when you have all these underwater sequences. But there are scenes when you're underwater and you think, oh shit, is the shark coming? But there's no theme.
You don't hear it.
So even he gets his own little character theme. But like in the Indiana Jones theme, I gotta say...
I learned something new today.
Yeah.
He fucking adapted the score for Fiddler on the Roof. For the movie Fiddler on the Roof. Yeah.
Oh.
Like, what the shit?
He's just doing it all.
The man can do anything.
He can do anything, for sure. It reminds me, thinking of, like, the Jaws theme, it reminds me so much of, my man, eternally, John Carpenter's work.
Yes, of course.
Like, that iconic Halloween theme.
Oh,
very similar to that Jaws theme, where you're like, this is off-putting, this is uncomfortable to listen to, and this is the key that lets you know, like, the villain's about to show up. Mm-hmm. And every time you hear that, it, like, fight or flight activates it, like, oh, shit, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
So good. So good. Just two masters
the
of that
Imperial
craft.
March does that, too, where you just hear that, and it just makes your hackles go up. You're like, oh, fuck, okay.
When they throw in little bits of that in the prequels.
Yeah. No.
So good.
It gets to be really funny, but like, funny in a good way when I think especially when I watch New Hope, how many times you hear the Imperial theme, because it's such an iconic piece of music that has been kind of lifted out of its context, that when every single time every single time Darth Vader shows up in New Hope, they play it. It's like, here's the Imperial theme, and you're like, no shit.
It's dope as
that my guy?
You will have a Pavlovian response to seeing this man, and it will be to hear that theme in your head, and vice versa. And you're like, you're right, I will.
Absolutely.
I have a complicated relationship with Schindler's List.
Sure.
As a film.
Understandably so.
But dude, the fucking score of Schindler's List. Mm-hmm. Which is like at least 50% Yitzhak Perlman. But like, come on. Shit gets me. I cannot deny.
Yeah.
I rewatched AI Artificial Intelligence recently for another one for the first time in absolute years. A movie that I thought I hated, that is actually probably a masterpiece. I don't know. His score for that one, I was like, bro, you're killing me, man.
Did y'all know he's 90? Sorry,
I just found that out.
I had this horrible moment where I opened his Wikipedia page and I was like, did he pass away? And I didn't notice. No. But like, God, 90. What a career. What a life.
Yeah. We love John Williams. At least he has
that. We do. Sorry, I just made an expression. I keep forgetting that this is an audio medium.
He did the first 3 Harry Potter movies?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, obviously.
Fuck me, how did I not remember that?
Yeah.
Once again, fuck that woman and everything she touches, but great scores on those movies.
Patrick Doyle to do the... I love Patrick Doyle so much.
It's John for the first 3, Patrick Doyle for Goblet of Fire, and then Nick Cooper for Order of the Phoenix, and I think Alex Desplat for the 6th and 7th ones.
Yeah.
They're all good in their own way, but like John Williams,
he's the king.
He's the king. He wrote the fucking theme for it. I mean, and I was going to say, like, what he did for Prisoner of Azkaban is, I think, his best in that series, because it's just...
the music in Prisoner of Azkaban is really excellent.
It's fantastic, and he matches... He's so good at modulating... if that's the right word, the tone and the style and the mood of the music to the director that he's working with, not just the genre. So I feel like the scores for the first 2 work really well with the kind of movies that they are, and then once Alfonso Cuarón gets in there and the movie becomes kind of darker, he's like, fair enough. Yeah. I'm watching the movie. Here's a slightly darker score for you.
He's always making a score for this particular movie. Like, you can tell that they're John Williams scores, but he's also has that, like, sort of the opposite of auteur theory, like, where, like, no, like, I'm working on this movie, and, like, there's an element of, like, I am, like, doing, like, it's like there's, like, a craft element of it, like, I'm gonna produce the thing that this movie needs.
Yeah.
Sorry, hold up. He did the soundtrack for the 1979 Dracula with Donald Pleasance.
Oh yeah, I've seen that film for sure.
When has John Williams slept at any point in the last 70 years?
I don't know. I don't think so.
When he did The Force Awakens,
Close Encounters,
and Close Encounters, which is great. There are some people who complained about The Force Awakens score that it, like, especially like Rey's theme sounded like too much like Harry Potter, but I was like, I don't think it does, but it's a beautiful piece of music anyway. And the fucking thing that he writes for the Jedi Steps finale in Force Awakens, fucking whatever the rest of my feelings are about that movie now, like going back to it, that music, I listen to that and shit makes me tear up like every single time.
Yeah. And I think it works is the other part. Yeah. Is like, no matter what it sounds like, I think for this moment and this piece, it works. Mm-hmm. Idiot. Also, we can't not mention Jurassic Park. Like, just...
Of course. Oh, my God. Iconic.
This has become the John Williams episode, which is fine.
Again, like, I was thinking about... one of the movies I watched recently was Lost World, Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
And thinking about, like, the Jurassic World movies and how they're so, like, I really can't get into them because they're so, like...
They're action movies rather than being Jurassic Park movies. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, right?
Well, my thing is like Jurassic Park has such a beautiful sense of wonder to it that I feel like people are like, why would they do that? Like, why would they're so stupid. Like, why would they make the park? And like,
pisses me off
how can
so
you
much.
not want to bring, like, we know it's dumb, but like, okay, what child doesn't secretly want to bring dinosaurs back? Like, what child in this doesn't secretly want to see a dinosaur in real life, right? And I think that the first Jurassic Park movie speaks to that so well. We're like, yes, it's an incredibly dumb idea to try and reintroduce these creatures, but like, fuck, it would be so cool and so amazing and awe-inspiring too, wouldn't it? And so the theme that he writes for that is so perfect because it's like this... it's this dinosaur movie, this action / science fiction / kind of a horror movie thriller.
Yeah.
But he's written this just gorgeous, sweeping, beautiful theme for it. And it's just like, yeah, like he gets the whole thesis of the movie in that.
He always does. He always understands the thesis.
Yes. Understood the assignment as the horrible meme goes, but you know,
yeah,
he does.
Yeah. But he does. Man,
we love my man John Williams.
Yeah, for real. I miss recording Sneople. I love talking about movies.
Yeah.
I love talking about movies.
I fucking love movies.
It's so nice to accidentally take a break from your podcast and then go, I love making this show.
Excited for next show. We talk about all the movies we've seen.
Me too.
I'm so excited for this because I've seen so many movies.
I've seen so many movies that I want to talk about. Yeah.
And so many of them were absolute fucking bangers, man. That's the thing.
I've seen some really good films, yeah.
Once you stop doing what I did at the beginning of this year for several months and trying to catch up on what the Oscars think are good, turns out you can actually see a lot of really good movies. It's really wild. Don't know if you knew this. It's crazy, right? You still once in a while come across some stuff that's like, I didn't like that as much as I thought I was going to, or stuff that's like coming out this year where it's like I was interested, but it's all right. I don't know. But for the most part, it's like, god damn. I just watched Little Women tonight for the first time in like 3 years, and I'm like, this shit, it's exquisite.
Yeah, that movie that people said was good was pretty good, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Every time I watch a movie that everyone's like, hey, this movie's really good, and then I watch it, I'm like, fuck yeah. It was pretty good.
Man.
You're right. What did I watch recently I had that with? Doesn't matter. We'll talk about it next time.
Was it Dog Day Afternoon?
Oh, it was. You're right. Yeah. Tying it all back.
Tying it all full circle, baby. That's how we work. That's how we
That's
rumble.
right. That's right. Heat, too. That was the other one that I watched. Heat. I was like, yeah, people say this movie's pretty good. This movie's pretty good. You're right.
I was just thinking about, like, the claustrophobia of Dog Day Afternoon.
Yes.
And the sense of, like, the way it flips back and forth between you, like, the world just, like, contracts to the bank. And then you get these intrusions where you're like, there are hundreds of people watching this happen.
Yeah.
And then it goes back in there and it's this tiny little, and especially after they cut
fish
the power.
Tank.
And it's, and it just is like, everything gets so much more, like, oppressively small.
Yeah.
As they run out of options. What?
Yeah.
There's a moment in Jaws where the power gets cut too. I'm just thinking about parallel moments. It's like he ate the light.
For real. Yeah, the sort of as the pressure cooker contracts.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, yes.
I was
thinking specifically with.
Go ahead, sorry.
With Dog Day Afternoon, we were talking about the heat earlier, but like it's dark, it's hot. There's no AC. There's cops everywhere. They are trying to come in through the back door, like, oof.
And the way that as the sun goes down, you know, it's there's an element of sort of like lighthearted kind of circusy, you know, what's he gonna do? You know, what's gonna happen next? The business with the pizza guy, and then sort of as everybody stops playing games, you know, the sun goes down, the power fades goes out. Yep. That long summer afternoon that has to end sometime.
Yeah.
And just kind of like drags on in that weird way.
Yeah.
It's just so atmospheric.
Yes, totally. What were we going to say before I interrupted you?
No, that was what I was going to say.
Oh, that was it. Okay, wonderful. Yeah. Great.
It was just I just have been thinking about that a lot. And then like, how almost disorienting the swaps between, you know, like audience, no audience, no audience. But then you're like, oh, they're like still out there. Like everybody is watching this happen and it's on TV and like all of this stuff. Also, I just like, I want a t-shirt that somehow communicates the energy of Al Pacino saying, kiss me. I like to be kissed on the mouth when I'm being fucked. Like, it's just so... Like, it's so fun. It's iconic. I'm sorry, it is.
It is
iconic.
And that's like the beginning of the movie. And it only gets more iconic from there.
He's already hyped out.
Yeah. That it was never supposed to go this wrong.
My man is just like impossibly high strung in that movie.
Yeah. He's always like just twitching. There's always so many moments when he's like speaking to
he's screwed on way too tight.
The main detective, his name I can't remember at the moment. He's just like having conversation out the window and you can see his like his eyes bulging for a second and coming in, like, controlling it, and his mouth twitching is like, bro, you need to stop. You need to take a step back. But he's in the middle of robbing a bank, so he can't do that, or he'll be killed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rip. Rip in pieces. Especially when his mom shows up at the bank. It's like, why are we doing this? We can't do this now.
That was so, like...
That was rough.
Just frenetic.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I loved the snippets of, like, seeing these past arguments, or this, like, we don't... All of the history of these characters gets told through, like, exposition in the moment. We're like, I don't need to see a scene of him talking to his mom about his marriage. No. I know exactly that they've had this conversation 100 times before.
Mm-hmm. They're so good. Every one of that movie is so fucking good.
Yeah. Cinema.
Yeah.
Film.
What a beautiful note.
Love it enough to talk about it, and thanks to all of our listeners who love it enough to listen to us talk about it.
Yeah, for real.
So, thanks for hanging out with us here on Sneople at the Movies from the Infinity Break Network. Check out infinitybreak.net for more awesome content, and come hit us up on Twitter at people_snake, or shoot us an email at sneopleatthemovies@gmail.com. If you've got a subject you want to hear us talk about, a movie you think we absolutely need to see, or want to share your Letterboxd review of your favorite film from 1975, come say hello. Our amazing music was done by Johnny Ronaldo, who you can find at Johnny Ronaldo on Twitter. Our super snazzy logo was designed by Bethany Leuthold. Check her out at bethanyleuthold.wixsite.com. If you can, please leave a review on iTunes, and share the show with any friends who you think would enjoy it. Any way to spread the news really helps us out, and we appreciate it. As always, thanks for listening, and we'll see you at the movies.